We're here about posture. Posture is basically how you position yourself when you're standing or when you're seated. And we're constantly moving, usually, unless we're watching TV and fall asleep in the recliner, or we're sitting at the computer and we're all hunched over, or maybe we're standing at the stove because the big family's coming over, and even though they said they were going to bring everything for us, we still want to make our own things. So we get tired. Our knees ache, our hips ache. A lot of it starts right from our feet in how we're standing. Take a break. You lay down, you sit down, you take a nap, you get up, you feel better. Temporary again. So my goal in life is to get everyone feeling better all the time, better every day. So if you look at the diagram on the left, it talks about posture. Basically, think of yourself as a stack of bricks. So feet are our foundation. Knees are right over heels. Hips, tuck in a little bit so that they're right over knees. Shoulders are right over hips, and we pull our chin back. We want to be tall, we want to be stable, so if a big gust of wind comes, we're not going to tip over. If you are seated, very similar, but our feet are flat on the floor. Our legs are uncrossed. Our hips are pushed back. Shoulders are rolled back, and our chin is tucked in. Yeah, you were doing it with me. Thank you. The question is, how long can we do that before we get distracted and things start changing and we change our posture? So you'll always feel better if you can just practice a couple times a day. And it's as simple as take a breath in, lift your shoulders, pull back, exhale, and release. And you sit up a little taller. So just remind yourself a couple times a day to do that, more often if you need to. You still able to hear me? I can feel it dropping down with me going with it. On the right, those 5 pictures of the young gentleman who is exaggerating his posture. Just some possible reasons why your posture is not the best and why you might have pain in the body. So, sway back, which I was born with, and there are ways to control that, but yeah, I naturally stand with my back curled in, pelvis pushed forward, and I get a lot of back aches. So there are exercises, core exercises, to help you with that. The other way, this one. Again, learn to tuck pelvis. It's all in the hips, knees, and ankles. We tend to gradually curl forward for many, many reasons, not the least of which is if you had a job, you worked at a desk. So if you can even just train yourself, absolutely, you are my model right now because you are holding your flyer like this. If you have your flyer resting in your lap, everyone's going down. So when you read the paper, when you read a book, lift up so that you are level. Practicing posture. You're exercising as you read the newspaper, you're getting extra benefit. Same with the head. Keep the head lifted. Chin to chest is only good if you're going to look up. Okay? Hold on to something when you do it. When you stretch your neck, when you're tired, little side note, that's the one stretch you never want to do is look straight up and let your head drop back. You can tilt to the side safely. You can bring the chin downward safely. But as soon as you try to lift up and strain up in the sky, all those little muscles in the back of your neck tighten up. And when you try to pull your head down, it hurts. There's a reason it hurts. It's to remind you not to do it. Going on to the next page. I'm used to instructing with music, and I'm not used to these pauses in the background. So if you feel you need to hum or sing, I would welcome that as we go. A lot of people say bad posture. I don't like the word bad. So, and poor is kind of on the margin. So I call it weak posture because everybody has posture. Some are just stronger than others. So if you have weak posture, it affects your breathing. your lungs fill this whole cavity. Your diaphragm kind of divides you. When you breathe in, the diaphragm pushes down, the lungs breathe. When you exhale, the diaphragm pushes up, squeezes all the air back out. It's a wonderful system. If you do it really exaggerated, all of a sudden you get all your organs massaged as you're breathing in and out. But if you start to find yourself curling forward and slumping, all of a sudden, all that space for your lungs is gone. So you need to sit up, shoulders back, allow yourself to breathe. Joint pain? Anybody in here not have joint pain? I'm not raising my hand. A lot of times it will start in the feet and move up as we move. If we are not flexible enough in our ankles to take a full step, forward, back, side to side, again, hips, knees, a lot of joints, but the ankles are integral in how we stand and how we balance. Later on, as a pair, don't do this by yourself and make sure you're holding onto a wall, but just for fun. Just kind of hold on to something. Push your weight into your toes without lifting your feet. Push your weight into your heels. See how flexible your ankles are. It can be changed. If they're real stiff, if they're real tight, we can work on that. We can. You don't have to do it all on your own. I will help you. Difficulty walking. The tighter we get, the more inflexible we get, the easier it is to lose our balance. So if we can reverse some of those things, that's what we want to do. Okay. I talked to some of you ahead of time about the YMCA and exercising, and I thank you for asking me, and I will stick around if anybody has any questions. Wherever you go to exercise, whatever you do, and if you've watched tapes, you're going to notice it's on every tape you do. You're always going to want to start warming up gradually. You want a strength component in there, whether it is a milk jug, whether it's a fist. If you make a fist and tighten your arm and lift up, there's resistance there. There's muscle building. You can do that with any part of your body. Cardiovascular training, getting your heart rate up just a little bit, not a lot. I don't want you huffing and puffing. If you get to the point where you're exercising and you can't talk to your friend, you know there's a little issue there. Calm down a little bit. But at the Y, we can go over all these things with you. This isn't a commercial, by the way, but I'm just referring back. Balance and core. Oh, I forgot I brought an apple today, and I was almost going to eat it, and I thought, no, I'm going to save it to show you. But picture an apple and the core. You have the stem, so think of your body as that apple. That stem is an imaginary string pulling you up, sitting you, or standing tall. The core, down through the center of the apple, has no front or back. That apple is round. There's nothing to differentiate front or back. That's your core. Sometimes we think of our core as our stomach. Oh, I'm going to get this core strong. I'm going to do a bunch of crunches. Well, your core is your back, too. It goes all the way around the spine. It wraps around. It's a wonderful set of muscles. So every exercise program should have something for your core. You want flexibility, stretching, and you want to take a couple minutes when you're done to cool down. Don't just quit, go off to your next thing. Cool down, have a little water, and then move on. And you don't have to do this for hours at a time. You can do all of this in 15 minutes. Not a lot of time. 3 days a week, you're set to go. You might like to do this on your own. Maybe you like to pop in a tape. I think I still have some Jane Fonda tapes at home, but I have no way of playing them. I don't even know why I still have them. But you can come in for a class. Classes are wonderful. You get to come, meet new people, or bring a friend with you. You have someone observing and coaching you. So we can say, yeah, you're doing great. Why don't you try it this way? Okay? Because you don't even know that it might feel better just by a little change. And that's why we have group exercise classes. Here's the fun part. Here's what you've all been waiting for. Who's going to participate as we do some of these stretches? Now, people with Good. If you have arms on your chair, it may prohibit you a little bit, but we can work around that. That's not an issue. Let's see if I can. Well, I may do it one-armed. Let's do it that way. So you can still hear me because I want you to hear. So on the back, there are a list of, what are there, 2, 4, 12? Real simple stretches and exercises. You'll find this in my classes, plus a lot of other things. But very simply, first of all, if you are able to, just stand up for a second. Take a little break. Get the blood flowing. There you go. If you're feeling wobbly, by all means, sit back down. If you don't want to stand, that's fine. Let your arms hang at your sides. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Take a deep breath in. Beautiful. So you all have perfect posture. Chin pulled back just a little bit. There you go. Can you feel the difference when your chin is forward or back? Okay, go ahead and sit down if you'd like to. Reach back on the back of your neck. There's that little bone, kind of right at the top of the spine. Put your first finger on that bone. Put your other 3 fingers going up from there. You don't have to tell me out loud, but is it hard or is it soft? Okay? Okay, you decide. It should be soft underneath your fingers. How do I get it to be soft? Pull the chin back. Did it get a little softer back there? Uh-huh. So don't sneak up behind people and test them because they will get upset if you do this. But when you are sitting and playing cards or having some social time, take a break and say, hey, guess what I learned today? Put your finger on your neck, check if it's hard or soft back there. If it's hard, pull your chin back. Okay, that's going to help train muscles going down the chain. So we're going to sit up tall, our feet flat on the floor, and we're just going to start with shoulders. Lift the shoulders up. Exhale, lower the shoulders down. Lift up. Lower down. Anybody hear my shoulder crack? Could you hear that? Little bitty creaks and cracks are normal. Grinding, not so much. Pain, definitely not. Okay. Now, if you feel like your shoulders keep coming forward, try to pull back. Breathe in, lift up. Okay, we just did 5 shoulder lifts. That didn't take much time. Shoulder circles. Circling either one arm at a time or both arms. Arms at your sides, relaxed, just working. And again, little creaks and cracks are normal. Go both directions. Go front to back. Are you feeling better? Take a deep breath. Breathe in. Exhale out. Front to back one more time because that sets us up for good posture. Why am I telling you to take deep breaths all the time? Because oxygen goes through your blood, into your muscles, up to this really important muscle up here, your brain. And if you're sitting and you're taking shallow breaths, your brain isn't getting all of the benefit of the air in your body. So that's why we stop and we take really deep breaths once in a while. Shoulder blade squeeze. Okay, and you can do this in a multitude of ways. We can do it just sitting or standing. If you had a small ball, you could come over to a wall, put that ball behind you, between you and the wall, and squeeze around the ball. Okay, so we're going to sit up tall, shoulders back, and we're just going to imagine that we can get our shoulder blades to touch each other. And release. And squeeze together. And release. Let's try one more. Very nice. Lateral flexion. Sounds really complicated. Basically, it's just reaching. So either seated or standing. If anybody ever wants to stand up and try these, that's fine. Breathe in, reach up. We'll stretch. Exhale down. Try the other arm. Breathe in, reach up. Okay, where are you feeling the stretch? Anybody? Shoulder blade? Good. Anybody feeling it in the hip yet? Little tug in the hip? Okay, here's a trick. If you want to feel it a little more in the hip as you reach up, press that, what is it, right? Whatever side you're reaching, press it down into the seat of the chair. Reach up. Press down a little bit. Can you feel it a little more in the hip and up the side? A little bit maybe? Okay. Lateral flexion, either seated or standing. You can turn it into balance as well. You can lift up and try to clear one leg, not by yourself. Wall reach. This one's going to be a little more difficult to demonstrate, but again, you'd need a wall. If this was my wall and I was backed up against it, bring my heels up to the wall. I'd bring my arms back as far as I could, and I would trace a line with the back of my hand up the wall as far as I can go until that hand no longer touches the wall. Now for some of us, it's going to be a struggle just to get the elbows back. Your back of your head should also be connected to that wall. So you get the whole posterior chain of the upper body working up and down. And that's going to work on your back muscles as well. Side leg lifts. I will demonstrate because seated in the chair and with this big a group, it's going to be a little difficult. You would hold on to something firmly and you would take your outside foot back because this is for your hip. You want to stand tall, you want to support yourself with a bent knee, and you're going to lift up, leading with your heel. Now most of us do this. And it's okay because it's working your inner leg and the front of your leg. If you lead with the toe, you get a lot of quad work. But if you try it and you come back, lining up toe to heel and lead with your heel, it goes right into your hip. Okay, so that was another one to keep in mind if you want to try these later. And we can practice these later too. Back here? Oh, back. Can you see me now? Okay. I have to hold on though. So if you bring your outer foot back, toe to heel, so you're lined up kind of behind, and as you lift, flex the foot, lead with the heel, and you're going to want to go like this and tip. The height doesn't matter. Stay tall, stay steady, lead with the heel until you feel just that little pinch. Muscles contract. You want to feel that contraction in the outside of your hip. And of course, do both sides. Otherwise, you're going to walk around in circles where you get one leg strong and the other one not. Open and close the gate. This one actually, if you sit forward in your chair, I think we can all do this. I'd sit, but then you couldn't see me. So pretend I'm sitting. Okay, we're going to lift up our right knee, and we're going to rotate it out to the side. Think of a gate opening and closing. Come back and come down. Let's add the arm. Arm and leg lift up. Leg and arms stay right above each other. I know the arms of the chairs are kind of in your way, and back down. But if you don't have any arms on your chair and there was enough room, you may be able to get all the way out to the side and back in again. Hope you know each other real well. You're getting hands in your faces and knees and everything. If you didn't know each other before, you will now when we're done. Cat and cow is very good for your back. Sometimes I call it turtle. Just depends on where your imagination is and who you're doing this with. And these, by the way, are really good to do with kids because they have perfect imaginations. And if you don't come up with a name, they will. And they will show you things that they're able to do and say, hey, try this. So it's kind of fun that you'll have some tricks up your sleeve for them. Cat and cow. I'm just going to borrow this chair. Cat is just what you would think. Cat arches its back. So you place your hands on the back of a chair, sturdy chair, and you're going to round your back. Tuck the chin a little bit, arch the back. Now cow, and I never did really figure out why the cow had such a bad back, but you're going to put your hips back, pardon me, and you're going to lift the chest. So you have a little hollow in your back. And with a sway back, I can really exaggerate that. You may not get this much sway in your back. So we exhale when we go into cat, and we pull our belly button up to the spine. And we breathe in when we go into cow. Now if you want to play turtle, pull your head in, pull your tail in underneath the shell, and then poke the head up, poke the tail up. And again, come up with any names you want to, but that is a really good lower back exercise. Heel toe, this is a great one when you're waiting in line. It's basically all it is. You lift up your heels, and you lift up your toes. And you lift up your heels, and you still wait in line, and you lift your toes. Or you're brushing your teeth, or you're doing something. So good for ankles. Again, ankle flexibility affects everything all the way up. Keeps your stability, keeps your balance. And then, very simply, I saved the best one till last because it usually feels good. You can lift up your knee and just circle nice and slow the ankle, both directions. Or, if you promise not to look down the whole time you're doing it, because your foot's not going to fall off and watching it doesn't make any difference, you can lay your foot on one edge and the inside edge and the outer edge. So just on the outer edge, but no weight on it. And you don't want to do this standing. You really should be seated because you don't want to have any pressure on it. If I back up, I'm not sure where to go here. I could stand on the chair. So just laying on an outer edge, laying it on the instep. Okay? Outside, alternating between the two, nice and slow and careful because you're going to feel this all the way up into the hip. And then toe and heel. This is actually one of the warm-ups for Tai Chi because your supporting leg is getting stronger. There's no weight on this leg. Pretty soon you're going to find yourself doing kicks, and all kinds of fun things. Okay. Sunbird's kind of fun. No. First disclaimer. If you've had your hip replaced and your doctor said do not cross center line of body, like cross knee past, then you're going to watch, and then I'll tell you how to do it afterwards. But the true Sunbird, at least the way I teach it, is reaching up one arm and then bringing the elbow down without curling forward toward the opposite knee. So it's an inhale, exhale, toward the knee. Yep. Now, if you've had hip work done and it frightens you to come across like that, keep them distant. So there's still shoulder width between my knee and my elbow. Okay, this is great. You still get all the benefit. This would give you a little more twist in the cross muscles of your back because we have up, down, cross, everything's connected in the back. And then you would do the other side, of course. So reaching up. Whenever you reach overhead, make sure your arm is forward of the body. Yep, everybody's doing it good. And then we come down, either keeping distance or crossing. And then as you get stronger, hey, guess what, Mom? I don't have to put my foot down. I can stretch back, and I can come in again. That's why my classes give me looks. Because just when they get it down, I say, hey, you know what? We're going to work a little harder. We're going to change it up.
Why did you say put your arm back?
No, don't put it, you don't want it behind your back. You want your arm forward of the body, just to save your shoulder and your neck. Because the farther you push that elbow back, the harder you're going to work those neck muscles. Yeah, so this is sufficient. You can see where it's a little bit forward, kind of in line with my face more than the back of my head. It's enough. So those are some very, very simple exercises that you can do on your own. More stretching than strengthening. A lot of flexibility, a lot of balance. My point that I want to make today is it's never too late to start anything, any sort of stretching, any sort of exercising. Just on a very personal note, I was one of those kids that was not allowed to play out after dark because I was allergic to night air. Developed asthma at age 2, so I spent a couple of Christmases in the hospital. So basically my mother said, you come home from school and you go play in your room, because she didn't want me to get sick again. So I never exercised until I turned 33. I didn't even have to do school phy ed. It's never too late to start and build up your own, what you prefer to do, exercise program. It has to be something that you enjoy. And that's why it's so wonderful where you live, where we live, are so many options. We have parks you can go walk. We have indoor malls you can go walk. We have fitness facilities. You have a wonderful fitness facility right here. You can get a tape and do it on your own. You can join somewhere, join a group, get your own little group together. You know, have somebody in charge each week to come up with some ideas, lead the group.